Raymond Hart's memorial service took place on a gray Tuesday morning at Whitmore Funeral Home. The viewing room held white lilies, a large portrait of Raymond, and the quiet shuffle of arriving mourners. When the tribute slideshow lit up the screen, the first photograph was Jessica, age 4, riding on her grandfather's shoulders.
40 minutes passed, and not one photo included me. I knew something was very wrong.
Such a beautiful tribute. So many happy memories.
Mom, how long is this slideshow? I have a fitting at 4.
Image after image showed Jessica blowing out candles, opening presents, posing in a cap and gown. 17 photos in, Sophia had not appeared once. Then Sophia saw a photo she knew. Her own 18th birthday, now cropped so tightly that only Raymond's arm around Jessica remained.
She cropped me out of my own birthday. My mother actually did this.
The slides are just what was on the drive, sweetheart.
The slideshow ended, and the funeral director announced the reception in the adjacent hall. Sophia excused herself and stood in the restroom, fingers tight on the sink.
She will not see me cry. Not today.
Sophia, are you okay? The photos were just whatever Raymond had saved, nothing personal.
She's always so dramatic. It's a slideshow, not a conspiracy.
Sophia said nothing. Her hand slipped into her purse, touching the thick manila envelope Raymond had mailed 2 weeks before he died. She walked out of the funeral home without another word, the envelope pressed against her side. She drove home in silence, then sat on the edge of her sofa, the envelope on the coffee table in front of her. The thick envelope waited there, postmarked 2 weeks old, addressed in Raymond's shaky handwriting.
He mailed this 2 weeks before he passed. He knew the end was coming, and he wanted me to know something.
She lifted the envelope and broke the seal with her thumb. The paper was thick and stiff. A bundle of aged letters spilled out, tied with a faded blue ribbon.
All these letters are addressed to me, from Grandpa.
She picked up the top envelope. Across the front, stamped in red ink, was the phrase "Return to sender." It was postmarked the week of her 5th birthday, 30 years ago.
Returned to sender. My mother did this. She sent them all back to him.
Her hands shook as she unfolded the first letter. Raymond's handwriting was steady and warm.
He never stopped writing. He never gave up on me, no matter what she did.
The pile on the table held 43 letters, every single one returned unopened.
Decades of stolen words. He loved me and I never knew.
She picked up another envelope, this one from her teenage years. The same red stamp, "Return to sender." Inside, Raymond wrote, "I came to your school play, but Linda told me I wasn't allowed to see you afterward. You were wonderful." She sifted through the stack, finding letters for every birthday, each containing gifts, each marked as refused.
He was always there, watching from a distance, while she built a wall between us.
At the very bottom, a heavier envelope slipped free. It had no stamp, just a handwritten label, "For Sophia, from Grandpa." She opened it and found a notarized legal document. The header read, "Addendum to Last Will and Testament of Raymond Hart."
This is dated 6 months ago. He changed his will and hid it in this envelope.
Catherine Morrow's signature was on the notary seal. She had witnessed the signing.
My mother doesn't know about this. She has no idea.
Sophia stared at the unread pages, her heart pounding, knowing that whatever it contained would change everything. She unfolded the addendum, the paper crisp and official, and began reading the terms Raymond had set down. It listed the waterfront cabin, the brokerage account he had built over decades, and the keys to his prized classic Mustang.
He gave me the lake house, the car, everything that ever mattered to him.
Below the list, the addendum stated that neither Linda nor Jessica were beneficiaries.
He knew she'd try to control everything, so he locked her out completely.
The notary's stamp was fresh, the witness's signatures confident. Catherine Morrow's neat handwriting caught her eye.
She witnessed it. That means it's real, but I still need to hear her say it.
Sophia grabbed her phone from the coffee table, her thumb hovering over the search bar.
If this holds up, my mother can never touch what Grandpa left me.
She dialed the number, the documents still clutched in her hand, and listened to the first ring. The line clicked, and a composed female voice answered on the second ring.
Morrow and Associates. This is Catherine Morrow speaking.
Ms. Morrow, this is Sophia Hart, Raymond Hart's granddaughter. You witnessed a legal document for him 6 months ago, an addendum to his will.
I remember it clearly. Raymond was very specific about his wishes. That addendum is fully notarized and legally binding.
So it overrides the older will my mother has been carrying around? The one from 2009?
Completely. I'd recommend we hold a formal reading to settle the estate. I can schedule it for early next week.
Yes. Next Tuesday. Do it before she can try anything.
A week later, Sophia stood outside Morrow and Associates, the manila envelope clamped under her arm.
Your grandfather was a determined man. He made sure this document would stand up in any court. You're about to change everything.
She has no idea what's coming, but I'm not the little girl she could erase anymore.
Back at her apartment, Sophia spread the 43 letters across the kitchen table, arranging them by year.
Every birthday from age 5 to now. She blocked them all.
She picked up a photograph tucked into the 12th birthday letter, a snapshot of her and Raymond on the dock, fishing poles in hand.
He remembered my favorite lure, my birthday cake flavor, everything. She kept it all hidden.
A creased family photo showed her and Jessica as toddlers on Raymond's lap, both laughing, before their mother drove them apart.
Jessica never questioned it. She just went along with whatever Mom said.
Night fell and Sophia kept reading, the letters a slow unspooling of every love her mother had intercepted. She set the addendum beside the letters, a paper wall against her mother's lies.
Tuesday, she will walk into that room expecting to win. But I've already won. I have him back.
She placed Raymond's photograph in her bag beside the manila envelope and headed for the door. The morning of Tuesday's reading, Sophia's phone rang just as she reached for her keys.
Hello?
Sophia, darling, I just wanted to check in before the reading this afternoon. I know Raymond meant a lot to you. The official will from 2009 is very clear, and as executor, I'll make sure everything is handled properly.
Of course, Linda. I trust you'll do what's right.
Your grandfather was old-fashioned. He would have wanted the estate to stay with the family who stood by him.
She has no idea that he made sure the family who stood by him was me.
We shouldn't let tensions from the funeral cloud things. I'll see you at 2, sweetheart.
The line went dead. Sophia set her phone down, her pulse steady for the first time in weeks.
She thinks she's already won. That makes what's coming so much worse for her.
At exactly 2 o'clock, Linda swept into the conference room, a leather folder hugged to her chest, Jessica trailing behind.
Catherine, let's not drag this out. The 2009 will is clear. I'm executor, and that's all anyone needs to know.
Sophia entered quietly behind them, a slim folder under her arm, her face calm but watchful.
Thank you all for coming. I'll begin by reading the last will and testament of Raymond Hart, dated March 2009.
The terms were familiar. Linda named executor and sole beneficiary, with a token sum left to Jessica.
I told you, Jessica. The old will takes care of us. Raymond made his priorities clear.
Then Catherine paused, and from beneath the 2009 pages, she withdrew a second, heavier document. She set it on top of the old will. The notary seal caught the light, unmistakable.
There is a more recent addendum to Raymond's will, executed 6 months ago. It supersedes all previous documents.
Linda's face drained to white. Her mouth opened, but no words came.
The addendum bequeaths the lakeside property on Pinecrest Drive, the full brokerage account, and the 1967 Mustang to Sophia Hart, outright and without contest.
This is absurd. Raymond was confused and under pressure. That document cannot hold up in any court.
The addendum was notarized by myself and 2 other witnesses, all present and fully competent. It is ironclad.
Mom, what's happening? Did Grandpa really change his whole will and leave us nothing?
The 2009 will sat discarded at the table's edge, its ink suddenly meaningless against the newer notarized pages.
Say every word, Catherine. Let her hear exactly what Raymond wanted her to hear.
This addendum also explicitly revokes all previous bequests to Linda Hart and Jessica Hart, effective immediately.
I need to speak to Sophia, now, alone.
I'll step out and give you a moment. The parking lot is more private if you need to talk.
Fine. Let's go outside and end this right now.
The sun was high over the parking lot, the asphalt hot enough to warp the air. Linda didn't wait for privacy.
You manipulated him. You whispered poison while I was the one handling his prescriptions and his bills.
I didn't whisper anything. He wrote me letters every year for 3 decades, and you sent everyone back.
He was confused, an old man with a soft heart. You took advantage of that.
He was sharp enough to notarize a legal document 6 months before he died. You can't rewrite that.
Jessica came forward and put a hand on her mother's shoulder, but Linda wrenched away.
I'll fight this in every courtroom in the state. You will never touch Raymond's property.
Sophia pulled one of the letters from her folder, the red stamp catching the light. She held it up between them.
Keep raging. The truth is printed, dated, and it has your own handwriting on every returned envelope.
She pulled open the Mustang's door, slid behind the wheel, and turned the key. The engine rumbled to life. Through the windshield, Linda's silhouette raged, her mouth a dark shape still forming words the engine drowned out. Sophia shifted into gear and the Mustang rolled forward, the deep rumble shaking the air around them. The rear of the car swung toward the exit, and in the side mirror Linda charged a few steps, arms flailing.
She can scream until her voice breaks. The law is in my glove box now.
She checked the rear-view mirror one last time. Linda had stopped running, Jessica gripping her elbow. Sophia's hands were steady on the wheel. The tension that had lived in her shoulders for years began to unlock. On the passenger seat, the manila envelope tipped, revealing the edges of the old letters.
He gave me this car like he gave me those letters, quietly, completely.
The Mustang glided onto the county road, pines rising on either side, the lake an hour ahead, the parking lot, the shouting, the old will, all of it shrank in the rear view until it was just a dot of heat on the asphalt. The road curved through pines and Sophia slowed, pulling the Mustang onto a gravel shoulder. She reached for the envelope, her fingers finding the letter she had creased earlier. She unfolded the page, smoothed it against the wheel, and read the first lines aloud. My dearest Sophia, I hear you've opened your own design studio. I'm so proud of the woman you've become, even from afar. Her eyes filled, but her mouth curved into an unguarded smile.
He knew me, even without seeing me. He never stopped believing.
She folded the letter carefully and tucked it away, the paper warm from the sun. The engine purred beneath her, and she let herself sit with the feeling, not grief, but a quiet peace.
This is what being loved is supposed to feel like. I almost forgot.
She put the car back into drive and the Mustang rolled toward the lake, the sky deepening to amber beyond the pines. The Mustang turned onto a gravel lane that ended at a timber-sided cabin, the lake water glinting through the pines. Sophia switched off the engine and stepped out, the air cold enough to smell the water. She hugged the manila envelope against her chest. On the passenger seat, the stack of letters shifted, and one thick envelope slid free, its flap still sealed. She recognized the handwriting on the unstamped label. The last letter Raymond had written, the one for her most recent birthday. Leaving the other letters in the car, she walked toward the dock, the single envelope gripped in her palm.
This dock I learned to fish here. He said the lake knew all his secrets.
At the edge, she stopped, the planks creaking under her weight. The last light of day caught the ripples. She raised the envelope, her thumb resting on the seal as if measuring the weight of what was inside.
He saved this for last, after the lake house, after the car. What is so important that it couldn't be opened until now?
She stood there with the unopened envelope, the sky darkening to twilight, the cabin's first light clicking on behind her. Sophia broke the seal and unfolded the letter, the paper soft from age. Sophia, if you are reading this, I am gone. I have known for months, so I used that time to make sure you would be protected.
He knew. He knew it was Linda from the start.
She read on, her mouth moving silently over the words. Your mother returned every letter. I knew then I had to set things right before I couldn't. The addendum is my final answer. A tear dropped onto the page, smudging the ink where he had signed his name.
All my love, Grandpa. He always signed that way, even when she burned the letters.
She let her hand fall to her lap, the letter slipping onto the planks. She didn't pick it up. Instead, she sat, the dock holding her, the lake quieting, all the years of silence finally answered.
He didn't just leave me things. He left me proof that love doesn't stop, no matter how hard someone tries to kill it.
An hour passed, and the first stars pressed through the dark. The lake house glowed behind her, its windows soft rectangles of amber. Sophia picked the letter off the planks and folded it carefully, tucking it into her back pocket.
I'll read the rest later. Tonight I just need to sit in his house.
She stood, brushed off her slacks, and walked back along the dock, the planks steady under her steps. She passed the Mustang, its engine still ticking as it cooled. She laid her palm flat on the hood.
His car. He drove it here every summer. Now it's mine.
She walked to the front door, the key already in her hand. The lock turned with a familiar click. Inside, the living room smelled of cedar and old books. Photos of Raymond with both granddaughters lined the mantel.
He kept all these photos, even the ones she thought she had erased.
She dropped her bag by the sofa and stood in the quiet, the first true stillness she had felt since the funeral. She wandered the living room, her fingers trailing over the spines of Raymond's books, each title a small memory. On the side table, a photo of her at 12, holding up a fish on this very dock, beaming beside Raymond.
He kept the photos. Mom tried to destroy. He never let her win, even quietly.
She went to the kitchen, filled the kettle, and set it on the stove. The ordinary motion felt new. She carried the tea to the overstuffed armchair near the fireplace and sank into it. From her bag, she retrieved the bundle of letters, still tied with their blue ribbon.
These aren't wounds anymore. They're proof that love always finds a way through.
She arranged them on the side table, next to a photograph of Raymond standing beside the Mustang. The fire crackled and she leaned back, her eyes moving over the room that was now hers.
This is what home feels like. It just took 30 years to get here.
The morning sun cut through the cabin windows, waking Sophia from the deepest sleep she had had in years. She made coffee and stepped outside, the air crisp and the Mustang gleaming where she had left it.
I still can't believe this is mine. Every morning I'll see this lake.
She walked down to the dock and sat at the edge, her phone resting beside her. A text notification lit the screen. Catherine Morrow. She opened it. Sophia, the asset transfer is complete. The lake house, the accounts, and the Mustang are legally yours. Congratulations.
It's done. He made sure of it.
She smiled, pocketed the phone, and let her gaze drift across the still morning water.
Thank you, Grandpa. I'll take care of all of it.
The lake lay calm, and for the first time in her life, so did she. She sat a while longer, then rose, the dock planks creaking softly. A smooth gray stone caught her eye, the one that had weighted Raymond's last letter.
That stone held his goodbye. It's time to let it go.
She picked it up, felt its weight, and flicked her wrist. The stone skimmed away. It bounced twice across the water, tiny arcs of light, then disappeared. She watched the ripples fade until the lake was glass again. Then she walked up the dock, the Mustang gleaming ahead in the morning sun. At the car, she ran her palm along the warm fender, tracing the curve.
The woman erased from that slideshow isn't who I am. I'm the one Raymond always knew.
She stood in the quiet, the lake behind her, her grandfather's car beside her, and the day stretched ahead, whole and unhurried. Across town, the Hart house bore a new sign on the lawn, "For sale." Inside, Linda sat in the half-dark, the curtains drawn against the afternoon. In her hands was the photograph of Sophia and Raymond, the one she had tried to erase. Her face was hollow, her eyes fixed on the image without blinking. Slowly, she lowered it, face down onto the cushion beside her. The camera pulled back, showing her alone in the spacious, quiet room. The addendum's notary seals seemed to press against the silence. Outside, the realtor's sign creaked in the wind, a sound that filled the empty driveway. She didn't move. The afternoon passed, and she remained in the shadow, the photograph at her side. The sign outside was the only new thing on the property, but it told the whole story. At the lake house, Sophia had turned the sunroom into a design studio flooded with natural light. Her laptop glowed with branding work, and beside it sat a framed photo of Raymond. The photo caught a glint of afternoon light, Raymond smiling with his fishing pole.
You'd like this view, Grandpa. The lake is full of fish.
She smiled and returned to her work, the quiet hum of the house around her. An hour later, she stepped outside for air, the Mustang waiting in the drive.
This is the life he wanted for me. I can feel it.
Back inside, she finished a client's revisions and sent them before the sun dipped low. She closed the laptop and picked up Raymond's photograph, holding it for a long moment.
Every design I make from now on is for you, too.
That evening, as the sun sank behind the pines, Sophia took one of the letters and walked down to the dock. She sat at the edge, unfolded the paper, and began to read. "My dearest Sophia, the lake is yours now. Let it bring you peace." She looked up, the water gold and still, and let the letter rest in her lap. The lake house glowed behind her, the Mustang parked beside it, and the first stars pierced the dark. She thought of the slideshow, of the photograph her mother had tried to erase. But here, in the place Raymond had built, she was no longer missing. The frame held on the small figure at the end of the dock, the lake stretching into twilight. My photo was gone, but I was never meant to be there.